ብራዚል የተጫወቱ ነው። ቤተሰብ ያላችሁ በሰላም ችብስል እንደተናችሁ ሁሉ ሰላም ሁሉ አማን። ሰላም አለይኩም ወራህመቱላሂ ወበረካቱ። ውድ ቤተሰቦች እንዴት ናችሁ? ያላችሁ በሰላማችሁ ብዙ ይበል። ሚዲዲ ነኝ ነሲ ብራዚሊያን የብራዚል ጨዋታ ያ ተንዙ ትባላለች። አዲስ ተመርቃለች ያ فين ها قط ጨዋታ ብራዚል ከጃፓን ብራዚል ከጃፓን ያየው ኩና የማንቸስተር ዩናይትድ ሪያል ማድሪድ ነው የሚጫወተው። ዳኒሎ ብራዚል ከጃፓን ሁሉ ሰላም ለማን በያላችሁበት ሰላማችሁ ብዙ ቤተሰቦች ወልካም semifinal belum buka saat aja boleh Mendesk. Teknologi. Me too. Japan. Darling. Casemiro. Lusaka Society. Guys. Ronaldo, Brazilian. Sınıf sayılır. Bunlar.
ሁለት ሰዓት ከ18
በጣም ነው የምችለው እንዴ! በጣም ነው የምችለው እንዴ! በጣም ነው የምችለው በጣም ያ ቤተሰብ ይላል ነው። ብራዚል ከጃፓን ምርጥ ጨዋታ
ምርጥ ጨዋታ ነው። ያበደ
ጨዋታ
ዝም ብሎ ይረጋግጣል።
ያበደ ጨዋታ ብራዚል ከጃፓን
አንድ ይደፋፋዋል።
በጣም
አንተ 19 ነው።
19 መቼም ዘግይት ብዬ ስለሞላ ነው ይሆናል። ጠብቀው Obama. He went through this warm up that was incredible. He was hitting balls right, left. He did more as much with his feet as he did with his hands in the warm up. It was fascinating. Every type of pass that he's going to have to hit out here, he replicated in the warm up here tonight. Or should I say this afternoon? It's easy to forget, but easy to forget. Gabriel. I mean, I don't know what day it is anymore. My schedule is all around football. My appointments I can figure out what is happening. That makes sense. Not that I have many appointments, of course. I'm not that popular. Give a rush. Agatsma with Santos making moves down the line. It's gone to Vinicius Junior. They're getting a second defender in around Vinny Junior. Certainly something that everybody tries to do. How well you do it and how you execute it is another story. Welcome, brother, sister. እንዴት አመሻችሁ በያላችሁበት ሰላማችሁ ሀያ ሆነ Vinicius Junior up against Tomiyasu. Thinks in the cross. And he partially cleared. Agatsma. Gathered by Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu. Danger averted there. That was a really flat ball, bad choice. And those are the moments that against Brazil, you can't have too many of those, so you're going to get punished. Yeah, that's them. ያበደ ጨዋታ ብራዚል ከጃፓን organized. And it is the same through every age group as well. I've seen a lot of Japan at various levels, and they all play the same way. The ethos Japan through every age group. Yeah, it's been 20 years in the making. It's, Japan, their technical ability, their focus, their comfort with the ball is also such a big part, and that's how they bridge the gap sometimes of athleticism and or superstar power. That's what they're trying to do today. 8 superstars. In many respects, Japan facing their mentors here today.
Brazil
Big
Japan.
influence on the development of the game back in Japan. It goes back to the early 90s when the legendary Zico went there. Out to both domestic level and international level. And by the time Brazil won the World Cup in 94, several players were either playing or had played for Japanese clubs. The Brazilians were a big part of getting the J League going. There's a good look at Ronaldinho. And Oscar next to him. Whole series of World Cup winners in the stands today for Brazil. Just remarkable players with stature. We looked at the list here today, and our eyeballs popped out of our head that legendary players that are in the building.
Yeah, legendary.
An additional order to this. Lucas Paquetá. Gabriel. We've got Santos, who seems to have solved that left back issue for Brazil. It has been a problem area for them. And Cunha pleading for a... Not yet, anyway. But he's trying to turn the corner here. And he's trying to get in behind Sano. It would have been called, it was outside the box anyway. We have reached the hydration break here in Houston. Brazil lost possession, but in terms of clear-cut opportunities, well, they're sadly lacking so far, but the intrigue is certainly there. 0-0 so far.
ወጀ
For Japan, Brazil's got a few more attempts, but this is about selective, taking your chances here today if you're Japan, and making it very, very difficult for Brazil. And I think they've done a very good job of that. They've defended well as a team, and they've got good pressure on Vinny Jr. I noticed now drifting in different areas.
ያምራል። መጋረጃ አማን በጣም አሪፍ እንዴ አላኪር ኮታ ያምራል 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 ያምራል። ቁርቴና አሪፍ አሪፍ አሪፍ
Extended periods of time. I think they're comfortable doing that, but I think against Brazil, that margin has to change a little bit and be a little bit more forward thinking.
Japan. Hi. Hello. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Yeah. Oh, what you're right. نقد البابي. نقد البابي. Hello. نقد بابي ويراه أوه 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 نعم أوه أوه من رأسها أو dress her okay. She's a kiddie infant, so that no problem. Okay, I'll dress her the next.
Wader it was. He's got 2 goals so far at these finals. He's the Dallas man. He got up nicely, got his arm over Danilo. And just the one. They did actually face each other though at the 1996 Olympics, which was another 23 competition, and Japan were victorious in that
Japan.
one. The miracle of Miami. Brazil in that team had the likes of Roberto Carlos and Ronaldo playing. And Japan here summoned that kind of spirit to knock out the 5-time.
Hello everybody, welcome ቤተሰብ ያላችሁበት ሰላማችሁ ብዙ ይበል። ኦ ጃፓን አገባሽ ማለት ነው። ጃፓን አገባች።
That's unheard of for Brazil.
ኦ ሶኪ ጃፓን ያገባሽ።
One of the men who lived in the building here today, Ronaldo. Stars on the stands, stars on the pitch. Japan have stolen it. Sano driving them forward. Still Sano! A goal, the Monaco from Texas to Tokyo. The Eternal Kings, the 5-time champions, the guardians of the game's greatest throne are behind. Kaishu Sano with his first international goal. Japan lead Brazil. Unbelievable. And what a start for Japan, but this is the moment for Sano. Because Sano, this is not about a build-up. This is about simply winning a ball, going with conviction, becoming a one-man show, and then striking an incredible finish here. Even got credit at the moment he struck that. But this is just straight ahead. What to get
እዚህ ያገባለ
ነው
And this is how Japan takes the lead. Incredible start here in Houston. We knew they had it in them.
ይህ ማን ነው?
ቪኒሽስ ጁኒየር
ቪኒሽስ ጁኒየር
Because everybody can plug into it. But I don't think anybody
የልጁን ልብስ ወደ ሌላ ያሚላ ማለት ነው። ወደ ሌላ የሚለጥፉ ይለጥፏል።
ያ ማርኪኒዮስ
the second goal this tournament. And Brazil now conceded. Of course, the other one was in their opener against Morocco when they fell behind.
ራካን
And here, leveled it up for them, Vinicius Junior.
ወይ ብራዚል እንዲህ በጃፓን እንደዚህ ስማ
Both teams are employing their ideas of how they want to play the game today. But one moment separates it.
ብራዚል
Recent history does not look good
ጃፓን
for Brazil when conceding first.
ወደ ይንጫው ጋር ናቸው።
Matches where they've got behind in some circumstances, they failed to win.
እንደቀነማ በነሳማ ቢግ ነው የሚገለው ከዛ አባት በብጅኮ በቃ ኮርነር ይመታበት
targets with Marquinhos and Gabriel. There's no question about that. This is a look back at the goal, the final moment. Just a beautiful finish here, and you saw it. It's nudged at the last minute. But that's just from picking up a bad ball and going directly to goal. That's as straight a path to goal as you're going to get with a player running with the ball at his feet. And a great confidence.
Yeah, hello, Nur Lapid. Hello, Nur. How are you? From radio. साथ ही ऐसा ही है Yes, brother. ቤተሰብ እንዴት ናቸው? ሰላም እያሉ brother.
Gabriel. Straight ball down the middle, knocked away by Taniguchi. Santos. Cunha of Manchester United to Danilo of Flamengo. Danilo delivering and not dealing with that particularly well. Vinicius Junior, back it comes from Qatar. Vinicius Junior once more. There's a crowd scene inside that penalty box. And Ritsu
Cossano. ገጠር የሌለው ሰው ከተማ ይሰራል። ሰው ይሻላል። Paqueta. Japan. Conducting Japan.
This is Junior. Casemiro, nice touch from him.
Arabella.
He's on his way. He's short on support though just now, and it needs the intervention of Paquetá to hold up his run. And that's a great thing to bring up because when you're defending this deep, it's hard to get out in transition. And that one player
Japan.
very good decision.
Mari. Lagu sih itu tadi. Muzumbi.
Everything in front of Japan.
Japan. There is Hindu.
Also came off the bench to set up the equaliser and the winning goal. against Brazil last October. The Japanese number 14 out on the right wing. And receiving it now from Tomiyasu. Doan. Man's got to be careful here because Vinny Jr.'s isolated one-on-one with a defender, and now with Japan committing forward, if they can win the ball and find an early ball to Vinny Jr., they could be off and running. Samiro's haven't played the game differently. His game has been tempered a bit with the yellow card. Here's the goal scorer, Sano. Ritsu Doan. Ito. 3 to aim at in the middle. Maeda was the closest to it. Brazil clear. Hiroki Ito up from the back. Interesting cross. And flicked away by Douglas Santos. Well, Japan, for me, carry a greater threat going forward than Brazil do at the moment, albeit not with great frequency. Well, that's the difference, frequency. I mean, Brazil's had 60% of the possession, the territorial advantage, but it hasn't led to as much as Japan's maybe had. Sano, some sprawling, on it goes. Referee plays the advantage. Nakamura. Maeda. It's exactly how Japan wants to play. Is have these selective moments, make great use of them, and then suffocate you with this remarkable tight team structure and shape. Oh, lovely play there. It's Doan just couldn't pick out the final pass. But the way they worked it in from that right-hand side was impressive. And that was a bad giveaway from Brazil again, though, because they had an opportunity to get off in transition. Their passing hasn't been clean at times out of the back, including the one that led to the goal from Sano. Archie Kamada of Crystal Palace. Sweeping it over to the right. But Junya Ito might have a top himself here. He did. And Guimarães is sent tumbling to the card out. Guimarães frustrated because he was on his way. Kamada's, this is a professional foul. And if you're Brazilian, you're pretty happy here that Bruno Guimarães has been fouled and that a referee has brought out a yellow card here. He has set a standard for what's going to happen in transition if people are going to try to pull off professional fouls. Marquinhos. Lofted in. Japan hold firm. And Brazil were expecting a corner. It is not. We are now into a minimum of 4 added minutes at the end of this first period. Both goals in the knockout phase so far have come from outside the box. Canada scoring with one very dramatically late in the game yesterday. They'll be coming here next. But that's from Maeda, just to dig that out in the corner. That was a ball that looked like was in possession of Brazil. Just a relentless work ethic. They contest every ball. Tomiyasu. Will be a Brazil ball in shape of a throw. for Tomiyasu. It's only a fifth start for him. You got to wonder what's going on in the mind of that man, Carlo Ancelotti, the first foreign manager ever for Brazil.
Yeah, played at the 1990 World Cup. Carlo Ancelotti. Italy came third. Played 90 minutes against England, a match for third place. Italy won.
And such a revered figure in the game. He's just done it in so many different ways, so many different levels.
He was actually on the coaching staff as well when Italy lost on penalties against Brazil here in the US in the 94 final. So many links, the different strands of the game, Carlo Ancelotti. As I mentioned right at the top, that was what his CV is unrivaled, unmatched.
Unbelievable, yeah. That was the 94 Romario Bebeto team. There was a young 18-year-old that was brought on the bench to experience a World Cup named Ronaldo.
Whatever happened to him?
Well, he's here today.
One of many Brazilian legends, Brazilian royalty, watching on. But watching the current crop trailing Japan by a goal to nil and struggling to break them down.
For me, Brazil needs to get more width in their game. They need to get more crosses in. They have to spread Japan out side to side a bit more. And now we see creeping up the field Danilo. That's the ball you need.
Marquinhos. Qatar was the target and hooked away by Junya Ito.
Yeah, I think Danilo's got to take that down and take that wide and try to get to the end line and turn the corner, as opposed to recirculating it and a cross coming in at a different type of angle. It's got to be mixed up a little bit.
Brazil got to play it down at the moment. And Wada, who's been quiet, unable to get that one under control.
Paqueta's come up limping a little bit.
And that is half-time. Japan are halfway there, halfway to claiming their first ever knockout victory at a FIFA World Cup. Brazil have had all the ball, but have struggled to break down this resolute Japanese side who lead by a goal to nil. And some strike too from Kaishu Sano. And the Samurai Blue managed to cut through Brazil. And they have the half-time advantage here. Brazil with it all to do at the break here in Houston. Japan, as things stand, be heading through to the round of 16. They lead by a goal to nil.
Well, it's an impressive performance, and after 45 minutes to get that goal from Kaishu Sano, exceptional. All the things and all the elements.
ይህ የዓለም ዋንጫ በሀገሬ ቴሌቪዥን ወደ እናንተ የሚደርስ በኢትዮጵያ ንግድ ባንክ ነው።
تو بشامي تلقى بس بشامي بسوي بشامي هذا ها ما عنده فله ሀገሬ ቴሌቪዥን
ራሱን ማድረግ ይቻላል።
ከበሪ አልተኛሽም ለካ
ቦታ ላይ ሪፕሌስ የሚያደርግ ተጫዋች ከውስጠኛው ይላል ወደ ኋላ ማምጣት ካልተቻለ አሁን የተረጋጋ የመከላከል ዲስፕሊን ይሆን በጣም ዲስፕሊን ላይ የተመሰረተው የጃፓን መከላከል እንደገና የተረጋጋ የተከላካይ ዲስፕሊን ለማጥቃት በጣም አስቸጋሪ ነው። ቁልፍ ሳይኖር ወይም በተዘጋ በር ላይ ቤት ለመክፈት ያክል ከባድ ስራ ማለት ነው። ነገር ደግሞ ተሰጥቷቸዋል። ኤክስፖርት ግራ ቀኝ ያለው ቦታ ኤክስፖርት ለማድረግ ይችላል። ምክንያቱም ፍላይ ማለት
አመሻችሁ እንግላችሁ አንተሳችሁ
አብታ አቋቋረ
ተጣጣ ታወቃለህ አይደል?
For an Asian nation, level now with oh, nicely done. Severo getting a toe on it, and that could bring rather nicely for Hendrick. But that's not up to the required standard. Han's got to be very, very careful here, especially in this first 15 minutes. Keep their composure. They're finding spaces. Brazil's committing themselves forward. Maeda on the move. Marquinhos unflustered back to Alisson. Marquinhos is just so good. That was just effortless. He plays the game as though he's wearing carpet slippers. There are those defenders that are just effortless and can do things in a different way because they read the game on the next level. He's one of them. Just the 39 trophies he's won in 13 years at Paris Saint-Germain. Just 39. Incredible. Maeda to Nakamura. Opportunity wasted. Wow, drama on both ends. Unbelievable sequence. And Brazil, they teased out the goalkeeper Suzuki and pinballs around the penalty area. Tomayasu blocks it. He doesn't even know he blocked it. This is just an incredible sequence. And then it leads to that transitional moment. But Brazil coming out here with more vigor, more intent, more urgency. Well, luck was certainly shining down there, that is for sure. And they maintain their one-goal advantage here. Casemiro. Ryan with Danilo flying up around the back of him. Gimaraj down. And cleared by Dora. Brazil looks a lot more alive here now. They seem to have woken up. Real test now of Japan's defensive resolve. Ryan against Nakamura. And again, he's delivered well. They're coming in from both sides, left and right now. Gabriel, that's decent. And stopped it for the equaliser by Casemiro. Houston sways in yellow and green. The samba has found its rhythm. The carnival has found its heartbeat. Brazil back in business. Well, you could feel it coming. The irony here is that Casemiro got caught on the Japanese ball by Kashu Sano. Well, he's just equalized. There's no pressure on the delivery. He's outside of the back post. He pulls away from the defender and snaps in the sweetest of headers. Gets up beautifully, times it perfectly. And that is just the blurry orb that flies past Suzuki. But you can feel it coming. Brazil has woken up here. Their fans have woken up. Their energy and urgency is back now. Well, how the atmosphere in here has changed after that. You mentioned earlier on that he's been scoring a lot of headers for Manchester United in the season. James, come on. There's one for Brazil, one that levels the game in Houston. 8 of his 9 goals in the Premier League. It's the balls that were being invented. There were warning signs prior to it. Cunha had a header that was close. There is Casemiro, but given away cheaply. That might open the door for Maeda, but he was surrounded. Here's Raya. Out to Vinicius Junior, puts it through the legs to Tomiyasu. Danger here. Vinicius Junior, brilliant still! Off the inside of the post! And belted over by Cunha. Wow! Brilliant stuff from Vinicius Junior, but left. Looking at the heavens in frustration. Just eye-popping. Through the legs, he's gone. You're not going to catch him. And then with the outside of, I think Suzuki got a hand on this. We're about to find out. He did. This is a huge save from Suzuki on Vinny Jr. to put that off the post. Because that was ticketed for the lower corner. Spectacular goalkeeping from Zion Suzuki. The pace, the tempo, the intensity of the game now has gone up 2-3-fold, hasn't it? Yeah, they brought it up another level here. They got their fans back in it now. You can feel it coming. The opening kickoff in the second half, you could just see Brazil looked at a different team, ready to do more and ready to get back in this game. Here's Maeda for Japan. Ritsu Doan. Nicely done. Maeda took it on the spin. Gets away from him though. Yeah, here's the look at it. Definitely Casemiro's onside. That back post there is a beautiful place to get him to pull off and away from a defender because their eyes are on the ball. And he just does what he does best. The right foot of Hiroki Ito playing him onside. Brazilian royalty in attendance today. Ronaldo looking on, he'll be feeling much better about how this is going now for Brazil, having seen that Casemiro equaliser. So Japan is rattled a bit now, and they got to see if they can get themselves a little bit more composed here, because that was an incredible wave of attacks from Brazil. Saw the obvious handball. Vinicius Junior. Guimaraes. Frederick on through. Either Douglas Santos or Vinicius Junior, but didn't reach either of them. Yeah, there's just not enough pressure on the ball, but that with or without pressure, this is a beautifully hung up ball at the back post. And look at that leap from Casemiro. I mean, the timing of it, nobody went up with him. Casemiro, the second oldest goal scorer of all Brazil at the World Cup, behind only Bebeto. Tremendous crossing and finishing. What an example of it. This is good from Japan here now to take a bit out of it. Zuki's made 4 saves in the match. That'll run for Maeda, making a beeline for goal. Allison there to deal with it. He's an absolute flyer, Maeda. Well, that's the thing. They do have a lot of pace at the top of the pitch on transitions. They are deadly, Japan. That has to be honored. Brazil's fully aware of it. We're seeing Japan trying to get organized and press a little bit higher here. Hendrick. Your goalkeepers in the World Cup get bought possession. Vinicius Junior. Cunha to Guimaraes. Spins away from Maeda.
alterations of their own here. Yukari Sugawara will be one of those to be introduced. So, Suzuki. Here's the first of their entrance. Like Dewan's going out as well. Nakamura. Those are two to make way. Now it's kind of reset to a game where Japan's playing for that
አንድ ጊዜ መጣለሽ ግን ያ ባሰሽ Ya bu kadar şöyle bir በጣም ቆንጆ አወየና ፉክ ያለኝ ነው አወየ
አወየ ምን ነው ታርግብለት ላይ በጣም ይዳለ ማለት ነው
ማን ጀምሩ
አውቀሽ ነው እዚህ ቢሆን ስለማውቃት ነው እንጂ ተሸከማለች ነው ብሩን ነው እኔ የምከፍለው ሰላሳ እንጀራ ከመጋገር ነው ሂዶ ማምጣት አይቀልም አይቀልም ወደ ምን ያከብደኝ ምን ያማጣው ወይ ወንድ ያከብደኝ ከኛ ሲበዛ ጤነኛ ያረጋል
Taga ba sushin daga zafin yashi
Brazil probing. Japan digging in. Marquinhos. Martinelli. Trying to move Japan side to side and expose gaps here. Well, when you decide to do it, it has to go quicker. That's the whole idea. You're moving from one side to the other. Hopefully you're going to get Vinny isolated or in a place where there's some overloads. Santos for the opportunity to deliver the cross out to Martinelli. Second ball like that though. Doesn't come off the fences. Somebody jumping out. He was always caught leaning back and didn't drop for him perfectly. But you have to try it from there. Little change for Japan here. Yuta Mashino is coming on. Daichi Kamada is going off. And Altanaka of Leeds United is joining us as well. Junior Ito is the other player. Not got anywhere to be tonight, Glenn, have you? Because I think it could be in for the long haul.
And is that it? ትደርሽበታለሽ በያዝ
Very quickly shut down by Suzuki. Does give you that feel as we enter the 79th minute. Santos. Ryan was the target. He hits the turf. Looks rather forlornly in the direction of the referee. That was a good ball from Casemiro. It's a good angle in run. Another full house here in Houston, 68,777. All but one of the games here have been absolutely jam-packed. And even the Cabo Verde match with Saudi Arabia was only a couple hundred short of being a complete sellout. Good challenge from Tanaka. But then he gives it away. Ryan. And now Brazil lose it. Heading towards the last 10 minutes. Nothing to separate them. I've not seen a crowd as energetic as this for as long as this. You can hear the drums beating in the background, but when you look around, particularly at the moment, the Japanese fans just bouncing up and down constantly. They're going to wear themselves out. As if they're out there playing. I mean, that's the beautiful connection between supporters and players. Supporters really feel that they can help you win this game, and there's no doubt that influence exists. Well, Japan had led in their two previous knockout matches.
So here we
And went on to lose both. They were 2-0 up with just over 20 minutes left against Belgium. In 2018, lost that. 1-0 up at half-time against Croatia 4 years ago. Lost on penalties. Did a great job from Japan there to double up Vinny Jr. And Brazil have pegged them back here. Vinicius Jr. Making a dart for the line. Back heeled away from Sukiwara. Danilo. Gabriel. Diving header out from. Is there a winner in this? Japanese do a great job of on the point of attack, a switch like that with a longer diagonal ball. They all shift so quickly. Delivering now. Sails behind.
Universal. Yes, yeah.
Later hoping to make this hit as he did. It's tied up by Douglas Santos. Some uses his right arm to try to fend off.
በቃ እግሩን አጠረቃቀመ ይሄ ልጅ ሰራ ነው።
Just drop the ball there for a runner to come and pick it up. But it's tough. It's tough to deal in the air with Gabriel and Marquinhos. And when you're a lone striker up there and maybe you have a secondary striker to help you, it's not easy. Most inside for the unrunning Danilo. He's taken down. Big goal for sure. Yeah. Suzuki. Here's Cardiff. Second head up. Sinabi is out. It looked as though really that Aida was going to be able to deal with him. I didn't know if he had to come in from that angle, but it's easy to say from up here. This is a very dangerous set piece from the area where this ball is, and this is something that you think is going to get whipped hit very hard towards the back post. Zion Suzuki on red alert here, the Japanese goalkeeper. It just like will be Ryan, despite the presence of Guimaraes being there. We'll see. It is Ryan who goes for it, deflects it up and over. Hendrick got ahead on that, I think. It came off a Japanese defender. The idea here is just to hit this hard and wrap your foot around it. And it's good defending. Hard. Suzuki. Thank you, actually. Conceded the free kick in the first place, who flicks it clear. Brazil keeping the pressure on the shape of a corner now. Very flat. Flicked on by Casemiro. Vinicius Junior. Plenty in canary yellow inside that penalty area. Guimaraes picks up across for the outside of the boot. He's got an errant arm earlier. Do go up with a
Money get up
getting up well. Good run from Maeda. From left to right. Rashido. To Sugawara. Sano. They find the right ball in. No, they can't. This is where Brazil's
ራሳቸው
gonna
ስራ
go.
ነው የሚገነጥሉት።
Hendrick. Get Martinelli away. Suzuki. Comes out of the way. Now he clears the touch. Alert goalkeeping. He saw what was transpiring and what happened with that loss of possession in midfield, so he was already thinking about being a covered player. It's an assured presence, isn't he, the goalkeeper? I've been really impressed with him throughout this tournament. He's got some flamboyance to him, too. He is an interesting goalkeeper, but got a good kicking game as well. Go back to that save he made on Vinny that he pushed off the post. Yeah, superb. That absolutely ridiculous save. Danilo. Ryan. Well, Suzuki put
it arm in his chest, I think. Free kick given. Here we go. 6 additional minutes to be played at the end of the 90. The 8 minutes of football. A lot could happen that time. Might something happen here off this step play. You're right.
ረዲም ሲታወቀው ሰምቼታለሁ።
Vinicius Junior. We were right behind that. And that Japanese defense just opened up. And it's broken for the corner kick. Now Martinelli made a great run to peel 2 defenders off Vinny and then allowed him to create his own shooting opportunity. Walker played short. Ryan lofting one up there. Vinicius Junior. Twisting, turning. Trying to give 2 Japanese defenders the slip. Now Tanaka and a real tussle of the 2 number 7s there. It's one in Brazil's favour, this free kick. Tremendous from Vinny Jr. to fight back and recover and win the ball. Whipped it again. Suzuki, a clean pair of hands. Now maybe Japan can have a break of their own. Machino, who was a leg replacement for the injured Wataru Endo. Intelligent pass left to right. Sugawara. Steps round to Douglas Santos. Only half away to Altanaka. Suzuki. Well, rather telegraphed cross, really, because Marquinhos knew exactly what was coming. He just belted away to touch. Problem down there, I think, for Casemiro, who's sat down inside his own box. There he is. And a change may be required here. There is some activity for Binho, I think. Is the one being prepared. Been quite the day for Casemiro. Well, yeah, certainly involved in both goals. Not for good reasons, the first one, but much better reasons for the equaliser. And Fabinho, who now plays for Al Ittihad, is about to join us during his second World Cup. You get a lot of experience with Fabinho. He's definitely a deputizing central midfield player, but he's a holding midfield type just like Casemiro. So you go to the bench for a guy that's got a tremendous amount of experience. And won the Champions League and Premier League whilst at Liverpool. The end of the road in this game for Casemiro, who seems to be struggling with his groin. Fabinho can't get on until Casemiro is off. Now it gets the green light. Japan have a throw. The reminder, Paul, that all these injuries piling up, that depth is so important in a short tournament like this. We don't know that from Taniguchi. Taniguchi's not that Wilson. Exception, great positional sense from Taniguchi. It's a veteran, he's 34 years old. That's why he's pocket shots. You see him off that end line,
Murat ይወጣል ካልጓታ
ያ
Halfway through the sixth added. Fabinho's header is a harmless one.
ያ ገራሻቶር
Well, Brazil have needed extra time 8 times
ከዚህ
in the
ትልቅ
World
ይገባል
Cup.
ስለሆነ ደስ ይለኛል
5 of those
Yeah.
have got to penalty shootouts.
የራሱ ስለሆነ ደስ ይለኛል
Well, extra time
በጣም ነው የምወደው
is not far away here in Houston. And I'm not going to complain about that.
ብዙ በድኗ ነው ያገኘችው
I want more of this.
The thick of the pressure of, these two sets of players, Brazil and Japan. Maybe more so even on Brazil, because most people expected Brazil to win this.
Marquinhos.
Even think of Brazil getting knocked out of this stage of a World Cup is, people say you're crazy.
It's been a real test of their credentials, this. Let's go back to what their camp has been saying throughout. They feel they are good enough to go right to the very end here, Japan. And they showed us today just how dangerous they can be. That's a big give and go. Pull back for Endrick. Now Tanaka quickly on the scene to, well, win it and then lose it. Give her ice. Pass through, what a ball, Martinelli! To Brazil! No way back now for Japan.
Well, I spoke earlier in this game about the value of the repress today for Brazil, and this is after they repressed and won the
አለቃ
ball.
ጎላ ገባ በቃ ሊጨመር በርሳሳ ደቂቃ ቀረቀሩ
Great position between
ጨምር ሲል
two defenders. They can't close him down.
አንዱ መውደቅ ስላለበት
Quickly he gets that shot off is a big game here. And it's
አያ
absolutely
አያ
fantastic. It's the glory game.
ምንም
It's
ክፉ
Martinelli.
ይሰጥ
It's Brazil.
እኔ በገዛው
And
ሰዓት
they
ላይ
do it in the final minute of stoppage time here.
ከተላልጦ
It does not come easy, but it comes in beautiful fashion.
Well, Koki Agawa is going to come on for Japan with barely any time to make a difference. And Brazil going to bring on Danilo Santos.
What Japan's going to do here after these changes, I think, they're lining everybody up on the halfway line, and they're going to knock it as deep as they possibly can. Run it down as a group.
This knockout game barrier is just something that Japan can't seem to clear.
And Brazil's fully aware of this. You can see amongst their players, they're talking about, be careful off this kickoff. You can actually see the intention of Japan.
Sugawara is over the ball. And Suzuki. One last push, perhaps, from Japan. Try and keep their tournament alive here. Flattered it to touch. Took a nick off the Japanese leg as well, and that was celebrated
So good.
wildly.
So good. ብዙ ዋናውን አይደለም
Free kick awarded to Endrick, who says you're not just allowed Martinelli to stride on with the ball there. Would have been the most space Brazil found all night because of this tough selective defending. But there's the repress. We spoke about it. Beautiful ball. Absolutely fantastic ball from Bruno Guimaraes. Pick out Gabriel Martinelli, who positioned himself between two defenders in a great place, then delivers the goods and the goal. And likely the game. Well, Brazil will be heading to New York, New Jersey, as things stand, unless Japan can find one big chance late in the game. Well, Machina, Nikolai Rafal. Well, Brazil's just push up the field, hit this long. Finish this off, but here's your star man,
Ronaldo.
Martinelli. There's another star man, Ronaldo, with Bebeto alongside him. And Bebeto. Then they know what it is to win a World Cup. But what it must be like for these Brazilian players to have those legends following them around wherever they go. It does apply a lot of pressure, doesn't it? It does apply a lot of pressure. No question. Brazil now seconds away. Suzuki pumping it long. Towering header from Martinelli.
ተጠርተሻል?
Danilo Santos clearing. Anyway, will do now, as far as Brazil are concerned.
Yes, yes. Obey me, Maraca.
Brazil march on to the round of 16 in the most dramatic of circumstances. More knockout heartbreak for Japan.
የኔ ስታፎች ማር ናቸው አለ።
For the quest for the elusive sixth star.
ብዙ ሰው እኮ ግን ያንተብሩነት ነው የሚረዳው።
The ghost of 2002. I kept a faith for another day.
ኃላፊነት ከአብይ አህመድ በላይ